correspondent banking works is pre-funded capital sits in accounts around the world, and you have literally $10 trillion pre-funded into other banks, into other financial institutions, in order to facilitate. It's the oil in the engine that allows correspondent banking to work, and it's sitting there. And if we can reduce the amount of oil necessary in the engine, that's incredible efficiency for the global economy. That's good for everybody. If we can
want to talk about investment price returns, the regulations thing is almost a lagging indicator. It means nothing. It's not going to determine whether or not Bitcoin goes up or down. Bitcoin is going to go up or down, whether the Fed, the PBOC, the ECB, the BOJ, the BOE, what's their monetary stance? Are they printing? Are they cutting? Are they expanding their balance sheet? Are they retracting? Is their balance sheet contracting? This is what matters.
So if you look at ChatGPT or Anthropic, Grok, Llama, what have you, they're all trained on all of the data on the internet. In other words, publicly available data. For these models to reach their peak value, you need to not train them not just on publicly available data, but you need to make privately owned data available.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And I told you that we would get a first quarter pullback, and that's what happened. And then also I told you that tariffs would get stepped up, and that's what happened. Layoffs would pick up. That's what happened. So the Crypto Teacher gives you a warning like Noah and Gilgamesh, whichever one you want to call it. But we will get some type of reset this year. Most likely stable coins are the catalyst. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto overall flat. Don't forget, we have CME that opens tonight. We know it's going to move the market. And then once yield rates start moving in the morning, we know it's going to move the market again. And this week is going to be a roller coaster ride because we have futures contracts ending. And then also we have the holidays, so we will get a little liquidity that comes into crypto. So make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates on Friday move slightly up. We also had the dollar move up. And we had Japan finally made that move. And they're going to be in a rate hiking cycle, which is going to send a rumble through this global economy. And that's the reason why the Fed has stepped in to try to control it a little. We know Jerome Powell only has a few more months in office. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have volume in crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, we have the Fed. Repo at $3 billion on Friday. Make sure you pull it on a daily basis during the week. And again, we have the Fed stepping in, buying the front end of those treasuries. Make sure you pull that once a week. And then we have the Treasury manipulating that long end, because we know no one, and I mean absolutely no one, wants that long-term paper. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And now that the Fed has cut about 75 basis points since September, yield rates have moved in the opposite direction. And that just lets us know we're definitely in trouble. And again, now we have Japan on the move, and the Fed has to sit still. And depending on these tariffs, if the Supreme Court keeps them, we'll see inflation move up. If the Supreme Court says they're illegal, inflation is still going to move up temporarily, because that money has to be paid back. And then you'll see more drama, another movie made out of it, and the Hegelian dialectic will be played. And we have midterms at the end of this year, and we know 2027, the Hegelian dialectic is going to be stepped up. You're going to hear about more impeachments on Trump. I know that for a fact. Now, since the Fed is going to be forced to pause, we know the market, the air is going to be pulled out the bubble. But of course, we're going to be pumping and dumping our way down. And in the first quarter, we always get that pullback. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum, spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum, spot ETFs were up at close on Friday. Now we have VanEck has filed for Avalanche ETF. And again, we have plenty of these altcoin ETFs that have not been approved yet. And we're going to constantly see more and more being filed. Remember what Larry Fink stated. These ETFs are the gateway to tokenization. The name of the game in the fourth industrial revolution is holding assets long term. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Japan's Meta Planet is launching U.S. trading via Deutsche Bank back ADRs under the ticker MPJPY. And trading in Meta Planet's American depository receipts is expected to start on Friday, with its shares listed in U.S. dollars on the over-the-counter market, and this gives U.S. retail and institutional investors access to their equity. And MetaPlanet is the microstrategy of Japan. And we know these treasuries are not going to end well, but right now this is the narrative that they're actually pushing. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And lastly, we have U.S. lawmakers propose tax break for small stablecoin payments and staking rewards. They're proposing a tax exemption for stablecoin payments up to $200 and a multi-year deferral option for crypto staking and mining rewards. And like I told you, in the fourth industrial revolution, in this new digital economy, it's all about long-term investing. That's why they have all these kids' accounts that are getting set up, because they know it's going to be very few jobs. And in most countries, they teach about financial literacy. In the United States, of course, we don't have any of that. We have the consumer mindset, and they have to change that. That's the reason why they're taking the steps to get the sheep thinking about savings. And that's why you keep hearing about savings accounts for kids. Remember, the fourth industrial revolution is not being set up for the older generation. It's for the millennials and Generation Z, which a lot of them are going right along with the program because, of course, their parents are not teaching them any better because they have no clue. And remember, my people perish from a lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not theirs, because they reject it. They stay focused on things that don't matter. And we're not 5 years away. We're not 10 years away. We're not 20 years away. We are a few years away for the rise of the machines. We see these machines doing all types of work, now on the stage, dancing, doing backflips. It's nothing but programming. The same way the sheep are using these large language models, they're not using it for business to make money. They're just using it to ask a question, and eventually it's going to be their companion. I know it sounds like a movie, but remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.